even cities where Black wealth is on the rise, such as Atlanta, Georgia, have experienced an overall decline in Black homeownership. This is Blair Durham with Black Wall Street Today, your media hub for all things Black entrepreneurship, politics, news, and events in Hampton Roads and beyond.
When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black
Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. When I say black, y'all say Wall Street. Black.
Greetings and welcome to Black Wall Street Today. I am your host, Blair Durham. And today is a very unique show which focuses on three aspects of business that I believe have the greatest potential to create a radical shift in the financial landscape for our community. Those three things are real estate brokerage, serial entrepreneurship, and giving back. Today's guests embody those core elements and will share with us how they do it and why they do it. If you're listening, you will take away some practical strategy for entering the real estate market, tips on how and when to start a second or perhaps a third or fifth business, and why giving back needs to become a part of your long-term business plan. But first, hashtag Our Numbers Matter, powered by Hair by Aisha at 757-816-6297 for all your hair care and styling needs. According to Forbes magazine, real estate is an integral part of any long-term wealth-building strategy, providing a tax-efficient income and a protection against inflation. Yet, the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, or NAREB, which is the oldest minority-owned trade association in the country, reports Black homeownership rates are actually falling and have reached a near 50-year low, as reported by the U.S. Census Bureau. According to its president, Blacks have lost nearly $2 trillion worth of wealth that its organization is determined to regain through its initiative to develop 2 million new homeowners. The organization also reports that resolving the matter is deeper than simply providing increased access to mortgages. The popular new book, The Color of Law, points to a generational history of denied access to real estate as wealth-building tool and its widespread implications for credit, cash, and trust in the Black community. Some advocates have suggested that it may take a full generation to boost homeownership rates because of legal discrimination Blacks continue to face when trying to access real estate. In fact, even cities where Black wealth is on the rise, such as Atlanta, Georgia, have experienced an overall decline in Black homeownership, suggesting that the numbers are as bad now as they were in the 1960s when discrimination was totally legal. But these statistics only paint one side of the portrait. Many Blacks are leveraging the power of community to build shared real estate portfolios. By pooling their resources, Blacks are accessing real estate projects with a greater rate of return than ever before. One such example is the Tulsa Real Estate Fund, the very first African-American-owned real estate crowdfunding platform, which raised over $10 million in June of this year during its very first week and is backed by the Securities Exchange Commission. By allowing access at as little as $500 per real estate investment, it purports to assist individuals in low-income neighborhoods with combating gentrification to preserve wealth in the Black community. Further, the federal government has incentivized investing in urban areas with its new Opportunity Zones programs. Just this week, federal legislation proposed rules for investors that entice them to direct their energies into 8,761 low-income census tracts around the country. Investing in these zones provide a 10 to 15% tax savings so long as the capital gains are invested over a period of 10 years. As such, it is expected that as many as $100 billion in private capital will be invested, which will in turn create new businesses and job opportunities in areas that need them most. We have a tremendous opportunity to leverage the power of these tax incentives along with the proven crowdfunding model to create jobs and access to capital through investing while also repairing our own distressed communities. With that, I'm thrilled to introduce our first guest. As you may know, we are continuing to celebrate National Women's Small Business Month with a powerhouse slate of women in business. This Richmond, Virginia native is a serial entrepreneur whose personal empowerment mission has led to the success of dozens of businesses across Hampton Roads, including a successful residential and commercial real estate firm, healthcare and human resource companies, project management and consulting entities, medical transport and insurance companies, and more. Beginning at the age of 25, Mrs. Tawana Golson became fully self-employed and has over 20 years experience as a full-time entrepreneur. Tawana, there's so much more to your story, but I'd rather you tell it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor. It really is. First, I need to just clarify that I was raised in Chesterfield County.
Oh, Chesterfield County, not
Yes,
Richmond.
Not Richmond. I was raised in Chesterfield County,
Okay.
and my family is from all over the Tri-City area. Woohoo! Because they're going to be like, what? What is she
Wow.
talking about? All over the Tri-City area, Petersburg, Hopewell, Prince George, Dinwiddie. That's my stomping ground.
I got it. Well, to start, I really want to look at this real estate piece because
Okay.
I think it's critical.
All right.
I know that we lag behind significantly as it relates to personal and business credit, but in your opinion, are opportunities in real estate hindered by credit, or does real estate provide an opportunity to actually reverse credit problems?
Well, it's a two-part answer to that.
Okay.
One, it depends. It depends on what you're doing with the real estate. It's hindered by credit if you're just buying a home for yourself. Sometimes we all know that certain populations have a difficult time getting traditional mortgages. Now, it could be an awesome wealth building opportunity for those that are looking past just the home that you live in and to build a real estate business.
Yes.
There's so many different ways to do that. A lot of people think it's just a traditional mortgage way to fund your dream in real estate, but it's so many different ways that I have discovered and I have used and I currently use to help me acquire properties.
That's what we need to hear about. Talk to us about some of those trends that you've seen in real estate, some of the low-hanging fruit, some of maybe the creative opportunities to get going in the real estate market.
One of the biggest creative opportunity that a lot of people are afraid to ask is just simply asking for owner finance.
Owner finance.
Owner finance, especially with commercial property.
Okay.
As we know, people are not in line to buy buildings every day. So for me, when I see a building for sale, I say, hey, that's on sale, because that's not something that someone's going to just be in line for every day. That's a specific need there. So I've found myself being very successful, just being brave enough to say, oh yeah, how much does this cost? Go in there like I got the money already, you know. Oh, how much does this cost? Oh, okay, fine. Are you willing to owner finance? And more times than not, I've had a yes.
Can you walk through that process? What is owner financing?
Owner financing is when the seller actually becomes the bank versus you going to a traditional bank and getting a mortgage and giving your credit and, giving your children's records and your dental records and everything they ask you to do just to get a loan. And then you get discouraged and you don't go back. Owner finances is very simple. I mean, I have closed on a property. In fact, I closed on a property last year, like less than 30 days, because the owner was what I call a motivated seller. They were really ready to sell. They were a little older. They had an apartment building that they had, made money off of 100 times over. They owned the property and they were ready to retire. And the deal came to, one thing about it too, once you start doing this, agents will seek you out with deals.
Okay.
As an investor, because I am an investor. I used to hold a real estate license years ago, but the goal was always to become an investor, and that's where I walk in now. The shoes I walk in now. But so real estate agents often will have investors on their list, and they'll call you and say, "Hey, we got this person selling this. Are you interested?" Okay, I'll take a look at it. I never turn down looking at anything. Mm-hmm. I'll look at anything. Anything's a potential buy for me. And so it depends on what that seller's need is, or what I always look to see, well, what problem am I solving? Well, the particular example I'm giving you, the problem that I solved there was they're older, they're tired of managing, number one. Number two, they want a little bit of money to go ahead on and move on with their lives to vacation and all of that stuff. And they're just tired of dealing with the day-to-day. They've made all the money that they want to make. Now they just want a little residual income. And they didn't want all the money at one time. Yeah, I know that sounds strange. Some people think, oh, I want to make this sale and get $300,000 at once. Not when you're in a certain age or a certain tax bracket. Sometimes taking little chunks of money is better for you IRS-wise. Mm-hmm. So they don't want a lot of money all the time. I've even had a deal where I had to sign a contract to say, and this is a side note, sign a contract to say that I would not outright buy the property from them for 5 years because they didn't want the capital gains tax. So there's so many other ways, and I would have to sit down and map out a strategy with you or teach a class, but there's so many other ways than the traditional mortgage way to buy property.
That was actually my next question, Tawana. So I noted that you provide very practical courses in your suite of empowerment tools.
Yes.
Is teaching real estate one of them?
Teaching real estate investing will be one of them in the near future.
Teaching real estate. Okay. And how can listeners get more information when it's time to start teaching real estate investing?
www.tawanagolson.com.
And that's Tijuana.
Just like the city in Mexico. I don't know why that's my name, but y'all can thank my grandma for that. But Tijuana Golson, GHOLSON.com.
I love it. www.tawanagolson.com.
It's just that simple.
Okay. So how long have you been investing in real estate? Was that your first outlay with business? Or?
No. There's so much more I've done before real estate. Real estate was always the goal. However, back when I was young, starting business, my husband and I, we were very young, 25, 26, 27, 28 years old. And folks were like, what are you doing? You went to college and you're going to quit your good job with them government benefits and go on this little dream. We always had real estate in the back of our mind, but we didn't have the know-how or the money at that time. Or just enough information at that age we didn't have. So we built a healthcare company first. Okay. And, I'll just go back just a little bit more. We've done much more than that before the healthcare company, little small business, even multi-level marketing. Most of us start off in some form of multi-level marketing where you get some awesome team building tips and things there. And then we started our healthcare company and did really well.
Okay.
And it got to a place where, we've got to do something for taxes. So real estate is a great place where you can go and you can not only shelter some money, but build an empire, build a legacy for your family. I've purchased houses in the honor of every child that I have. My husband and I birthed 2, but we adopted an additional 4. So each child have a house in their honor, and each grandchild have a house in their honor. I have 3 little grandboys as well. Hopefully I get a grandgirl one day.
Wow.
But yeah,
you said something really interesting. It caught my eye. I know you're not providing tax advice or legal advice.
No. Let's do that disclaimer. I'm not a tax advisor.
Right. But what is the strategy in terms of purchasing homes for others in terms of sheltering money? What is that?
Well, the strategy is, so I'll just give you my personal experience. My personal experience is we built a healthcare company, did really good. Okay. Still have that company. It's still doing good. That's how we put our kids through college. Okay.
Wow. That's
how we ate for the last almost 20 years. So when you make a certain amount of money, you don't want to just have money sitting in the bank. It means nothing.
Right.
Contrary to people's belief, cash is not king. This country is run off of debt. So if you just have money just sitting in the bank, you're going to get taxed very heavily. So our accountant was like, what do you want to invest in? And real estate was like one of the best ways or the most fun ways for us to invest in.
I love it. Say more if you will, though.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I thought I was getting accused to shut up.
You're not. They're for me.
I apologize. Look, I was trying to be good,
We are here.
I don't want to overstay my welcome.
You're doing great.
I definitely don't want to overstay my welcome.
Our listeners are taking notes. I'm taking notes. We've got a couple more minutes before we go to break.
Absolutely. Well, I'm just so excited that you guys have me here to share this because a lot of folks don't think that they can be on the other side. I was raised back in the day when I'm a 70s baby, so I was raised back in the day when you were told to get the good job and the benefits, and you stay on there 30 years and you get your watch and your certificate and you should be happy with your life, right?
We're still getting that advice.
Okay. It's been a while for me. Yeah. So to have the thought of buying property outside in my world, to have the thought of buying property outside of the house that you lived in, that you spent 30 years on that job to pay for, was very far-fetched. So I had to go out there and find my own mentors and read and be in conversations that I weren't invited to, and just be there listening and have my little ear up and my little side eye on, and to just get the information that I got, which really it made me want to learn more. So I educated myself. So I would tell anybody, if you want to go into not just real estate, if you want to go into anything, be a student of that. Everything is not going to be taught to you. I mean, I've got a plethora of degrees on my wall, but none of those degrees taught me how to buy real estate. I had to get that. Very interesting. So even real estate school didn't teach me how to be an investor. It taught me how to sell, but it didn't teach me how to invest. So I had to seek that education on my own. And it's an ongoing practice. I never stop. I'm always listening to podcasts. I'm always reading something just to keep up with what's going on. Because for me, and I'm getting older, I have grandkids, so I'm getting older. So sheltering my money is very important to me at this age, as well as paying, I'm not evading taxes, but I don't want to pay all of the taxes just because, my assets are high. So I would tell anybody, my biggest piece of advice would be to educate yourself and get up under a mentor. You have to get up under someone that's doing it, that's much further. I have a mentor. I'm a coach, but I have coaches. I have a whole team of folks around me that are experts, and they make me look real smart, don't they? I have a whole team of experts around me in different areas. So that's what I would say.
This is exciting. We're going to take a break, but when we come back, Tawana shares tips on serial entrepreneurship, breaking out of the I own a job frame of mind, and one of her proteges. Welcome back. I'm Blair Durham, your host for Black Wall Street Today. It's time for hashtag add this to the list. Today, we add funding sources to the list. This morning, the City of Norfolk Department of Development, in partnership with Black Brand, Hampton Roads Regional Black Chamber of Commerce, hosted a dynamic panel of funding sources, and I wanted to provide that information to our listeners. Add 757 angel investors to the list of funding sources to consider. They are always looking for innovative business plans and have a wealth of capital opportunities. Add Virginia Community Capital to the list. They are more of a traditional lender with greater flexibility to consider your story. Also, add Liquid Capital to the list as they lend on assets, including purchase orders and accounts receivable. Add the Small Business Administration, who offers a wide range of funding options to meet your needs. And finally, consider moving your business or starting a business in the city of Norfolk. Their micro grant programs may provide the funding you need to get your business off the ground. Hashtag add this to the list. Hashtag at Black Wall Street Today. Please follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at Black Wall Street Today, as well as on Twitter at BWS Today. We'll see you there offline. So, Tawana, welcome back.
Hi.
I'm so excited. So, I understand that part of your focus is community. You're really passionate about wealth generation.
Absolutely.
Can you just talk about that perspective and how you arrived at it?
Absolutely. Well, community is just something I do. I was raised in the church, so y'all know.
Raised in the church.
Raised in the church. So let me go ahead and lay that foundation, because I got some followers and listeners on your live. I was raised in the church, so first I want to give honor to God. But first I want to give honor to God. But it's always been just in my heart to help people. That was one of the reasons that I actually, just to let you guys know, launching a real estate firm in November called Legacy Property Elites. I'm the investor side of the firm, and then I have a partner, Shandell Jackson, who is the principal broker. So,
congratulations.
Thank you. What's going to be a little bit different about us? Yes, we're going to sell real estate. Yes, we're going to manage property. That's what they all do, right?
Right.
But what's going to be a little bit different about us is the community effort. We're making efforts to be a part of our community. We're making efforts to make sure that we serve the underserved. Mm-hmm. And what I mean by that is returning citizens,
Okay.
And for those that don't know what returning citizens are, people that may have a background with the law record and have a hard time buying homes, leasing, and all of that stuff, and no one wants to give them a chance. So we're going to be focusing on them. We're going to be focusing on veterans. We're going to be focusing on low income We're going to be focusing on the elderly. We're going to be focusing on, and I mentioned earlier that I have a healthcare company where I actually work with folks with intellectual disabilities and mental health concerns. So we will be focusing on those folks who just sort of like hard to place people. So that's what's in my heart, and it's not going to go away. As I transition in life, because I don't know where retiring is, I probably never stop doing what I'm doing. I call it transitioning. As I transition in life, I'm always going to be doing something to help somebody. In fact, my sister and I, as I was coming over here, because she's sort of like my muse, my sister, Jen, we were talking just today about just getting out in the community and feeding people. You know, we always do it at Christmas and Thanksgiving. That's just, everybody do that, right? That's not nothing special.
Right.
But what about the folks that's hungry all year, 365 days of the year? So we were just talking about, hey, you want to get the sisterhood together and you know, we just put our resources together initially until, you know, we get even better response or support. And that's what we're going to do. It doesn't take much to make some peanut butter jelly sandwiches and go downtown Newport News and pass them out. You know, we waste that. So giving back is very important. That's one of the things that I talk about in my keys to success. The most successful people give away just as much as they bring in.
That's good. I like that. I love it. So let me ask you this. Actually, I want to open up the lines. If you have questions for Tawana, feel free to dial in to 757-727-5711. If you have questions about serial entrepreneurship, real estate brokerage, how she manages her time.
No, let's talk about it.
Looks like we got a caller already. But just say a bit more about that. When I think about running just 2 businesses and having children, I'm a little bit exhausted.
Right.
How are you managing this world of partnering and operating businesses yourself and giving back as much as how does that work?
Great question. You know, I'm just going to be honest with you. First, we got to give honor to God, okay? Because that's the only way that I have the strength that I have, and that's not even being funny this time. And then I have a strong support system.
Okay.
You know, a strong support. My husband is my number one, my ace. We are business owners together. We start all these ideas together. Most of them. Some of them, I just come home and say, honey, I'm getting ready to go partner with so-and-so. He's like, all right, go do your thing. You know, and he does the same thing. And, but if I didn't have him as that support, because we've been together since we were 14 years old. We've been friends since we were 14. We started dating at 16 because I told you I was raised in the church, right? They wouldn't let me date at 14. But we've been together since I was 16 years old, so a long time, over 30 years we've been together. And I don't know life without that man. It's crazy. So, look, I'm about to cry thinking about it.
So the support system.
And I have an awesome team of girlfriends.
Okay.
Awesome team of girlfriends. That's a whole nother conversation. I know people always say, I don't do females. I don't do all that. I don't understand that because I'm a female. But I have a strong team. It's about 20 of these jokers that are my jack-up partners that keep me where I need to be. And then I have my assistants. I have an awesome publicist. I have, like I told you earlier, I surround myself with smart people. And that's what made me look smart, really. And that's the only way I could do it. I really couldn't do it. People ask me all the time, how do you do all this stuff? Honey, I really...
With help.
With a lot of help. You know, I barely know my schedule by the day. I'm really told where to go, what to do, literally. You know, and sometimes people get a little touchy when they hit me up and say, hey, how do I schedule with you? TawanaGolson.com. You have to schedule there. If you don't, I'll say, yeah, I'll be there. And you'll be looking for me. Wow. You'll be looking for me because I'll forget as soon as I told you I would be there, you know. But it takes a whole lot. It takes a team. It takes a team to do what I do. When it became more than the one business, I recognized early. I had an assistant for over 10 years. And when I messed around and helped her start a business, so she had to leave. And when that happened, she actually helped me. She went in, because she had been with me so long, she helped me raise my kids and everything. So she actually hired my next assistant, which was awesome.
I love it.
Yes.
So tell us about LIPS and mentorship and the mastermind group and how it is you're empowering other women to start businesses.
So you really did read it, huh?
Yes, I read it.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so LIPS, I'm so excited about that because my mark is almost registered. I'm waiting for, how it goes through. It's getting trademarked. So waiting for somebody to say, it's my mark, which is not their mark. God gave me that mark. But so in a few more days, it will be officially a trademark. So last December, I decided to just extend. I do business coaching and mentoring under TAG Consulting LLC, and I decided to extend free coaching and mentoring to anybody. In December, everybody think about the new year and they all are happy and, got all these goals and visions and dreams. So I said, okay, I went on Facebook and I said, hey, ladies in need of a push to start. Hey, if you need a push to start, let me come talk to me. Meet me at the Cove Restaurant in Newport News. And a whole gang of women showed up. We sat down and we goal set and we talked about what they were going to do for the year. And that's how LIPS started. But it kind of transformed into Ladies Impacting Professional Systems. You start off with a need of a push to start. And then when you get started and you start moving forward, you're impacting professional systems. So I'm actually marking that. So LIPS, we meet every first and third Wednesday of the month at the Cove Restaurant in Newport News, and kind of meet there because people are coming from the other side of the water. And I'm in Williamsburg, so it's kind of like a middle place for us all. And we get together, we strategize. We always bring in a guest speaker to talk about something. Our last guest speaker was a banker, and they were talking about payroll issues. Some of my clients are to the place where they're hiring staff now. Fantastic. So they need to know how to establish their payroll. So, okay, fine. So we brought somebody in. So it's always something that a business owner would need.
So
that we discuss.
Is LIPS open to the general public?
It's open to the general public. Yes,
okay.
It is. Absolutely.
And how do people find out about LIPS? How can they get?
TawanaGolson.com, or you can follow. I'm gonna keep saying that. TawanaGolson.com, or you can follow my TAG Consulting LLC page as well. And we actually have a group that I will add you to if you say you're interested in it.
Okay.
Because everybody in that group are actually active.
Tawana, we got a call on the line.
Oh yeah.
Let's see who's there. Black Wall Street Today. This is Blair Durham. Who's on the line?
Hi, my name is Anthony Coleman.
Hi, Miss Coleman. You have a question for Tawana?
Yes, I need all your information. You are definitely like the person that I need to be in contact with. I am loving the interview.
Blessings to you.
I am a part of a family business. We own a further production line, and we've opened 2 retail stores, about to open up a restaurant.
Oh, wow.
And we're trying to use real estate to get affordable housing for people that not only work for us, but just the community altogether. So I just wanted to get as much information as possible because it's so informative to what we're trying to do, and just, like you said, give back to the community. It takes nothing to go down to Newport News and make some sandwiches.
Yes. Absolutely.
So right now we like grilling stuff because we're meat production. On Saturdays when we don't have events, we'll grill in front of like the bus station in front of our store so that anyone can come by and sample the meat because people are hungry.
I love it. I would love to come meet you down there if you have me.
I want to meet with the LIPS. I had to call. I was like, I can't find this online. I have to call.
Okay, so Miss Coleman's calling because she's an entrepreneur. She's got tons of businesses she's running. She needs advice on real estate for affordable housing and wants to connect with Tawana. Tawana, would you state your contact information one more time?
Sure. Do this for me, honey. If you go on TawanaGolson.com, it's gonna give you a button to meet with me or enroll with me. It's like on every page where you can click to meet with me. If you go on there, it's gonna take you to my appointment scheduler.
Okay.
And you'll be able to see the LIPS meetings on there, as well as schedule an appointment with me, send me a message or whatever you want to do. I am very eager to talk with you, especially with what you guys are doing, giving back. Okay. So let's talk. Let's get together real quick.
One more time.
Sure. www.Tijuana Golson GHOLSON.com.
Awesome. Thank you, Miss Coleman.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling.
again.
I look so forward to talking with you.
All right. Thank you so much.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll take a few more callers at 757-727-5711. If you have a question for Tawana, it's 757-727-5711. Tawana.
Yes.
I always believe that there is a blessing in our crazy.
Yeah.
We don't just arrive at success. overnight. It's a process.
Yeah.
What would you say has
know my
been?
crazy?
Yeah. What's been your greatest kind of stumbling block, and how has that become a cornerstone for you in terms of entrepreneurship and empowerment and all that you are today?
Man, I'm gonna tell you what. In the beginning, I'm gonna go back in the beginning when we first got started because we were so young. First of all, I mean, I give people grace because of our age.
Thank you.
Seriously, I give people grace because of that.
We have a
It was
caller
the
on the line as well.
support.
Go ahead.
It was the support system. Didn't really have it. So it was like
you.
out there flapping in the wind, swimming and drowning and getting up and bobbleheading and all of that stuff. That it was so hard initially. And that's why the consulting business came about. A lot of people kind of discredit, what do I need a mentor for? I can just start a business. Anybody can run downtown and get a business license. But what happens? What about building that winning team? What happens when you need a lawyer? You need a relationship with a lawyer before you need a lawyer. You don't need a lawyer when you need a lawyer. They need to be, your number need to be on their speed dial as much as yours on theirs. You need to have relationships with folks. My lawyers, if I text them right now, they're going to text me back.
Love it.
You know what I mean? So
you're saying that tag consulting was really birthed out of your
pain.
understanding that
it was birthed out of pain. It was birthed out of pain of bumping my head because I just didn't know.
Let's jump to a caller.
Okay.
Black Wall Street Today, Blair Durham, who am I speaking with?
Suzanne.
Say it again.
Suzanne.
Hey, Tijuana, this is Suki.
Hey, Suki, how you doing?
I'm good.
She's a
girl, I'm
fitness
good.
instructor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, caveat here. One of my clients, I'm launching a whole bunch of businesses under Tag Consulting.
I've
In the
seen
next
this.
6-7 months, we're going to be like packed, jam.
Like a launch a month.
Yeah, we're having a launch a month. You know, somebody said on Facebook, instead of having a bunch of baby showers, let's have business showers.
Business showers.
All right, Tag answered your call, so y'all come on out. So
I'm
we're
loving
having
it.
a launch on one of our fitness instructors, Intensify Fitness, Candace Alexander, on Sunday, 2:00. And this is Suki. Suki is one of the people in the network of fitness. Hey, let's talk.
Suki, what's your question?
Oh, well, actually, it's not a question. I'm just letting everybody know that who's listening that this is the real deal. Tijuana has been in this for the longest time. I've watched her come to class. I've danced right alongside her, in front of her. And honestly, I can seriously tell you that what she's saying is true. The funny thing is, I listen to 88.1 all the time. And I was listening to this. I love talk radio. And I was listening to this person talk, and then all of a sudden she said tag consultant. Now, wait a minute. Is that Tijuana? And, I just figured I'd give it a call. Yeah. She's the real deal, the real thing. If anybody is listening, yes, you do need a mentor about the lawyer on speed dial and everything. And she is launching one of my girlfriend's fitness formats this Sunday. And as soon as she's done and she gets some time, I'm gonna go sneak right up under the umbrella and get sheltered from the rain.
I'll be looking for you. I'll be looking for you.
Validation and support for Tijuana. Suki, thank you so much for calling in.
No problem. You guys have a good day.
You as
too.
well.
Peace.
We'll take one or two more callers at 757-727-5711. Tijuana, I've got a true-false question for you while we wait.
All right.
True or false? I need a license in real estate in order to invest in real estate.
False.
Why is that false?
Because you just need a little creative funding in order to invest in real estate. Now, to sell real estate, you need a license.
To sell real estate, you need a license.
Yes, to sell real estate. To be a real estate agent, realtor, salesperson, you need a license. But to invest in real estate, the salespeople look for us because we're the ones buying the properties and providing affordable housing to those that may not be able to afford it otherwise.
All right, we got another caller. Black Wall Street Today, Blair Durham. Who am I speaking with?
This is Jay from Portsmouth.
Jay, how are you? You've got a question for Tijuana?
Yeah, I got a question. It's actually in regards to, my wife and my sister-in-law has an event planning company.
Okay.
And my question is, and maybe I can get some guidance on this, should they start staying away from doing a lot of events in the church?
Okay.
Cause when it started out, they were doing that, but I think lead to my question, like to get them more clientele, I was saying they should probably venture outside of the church and other places. What are your thoughts on that?
So your question is about how to develop a market outside the church, is that?
Yes.
Okay, Tijuana.
Jay,
Yes.
Okay, well, first I'd like to say that, everybody should have a start somewhere, and the church was their warm market. So I applaud them for recognizing their warm market. But if they want to expand their vision, then it's okay to go outside of the church, unless that's just their specialty. Different people in different businesses, they specialize in certain areas. And if the church is their specialty, then there's nothing wrong with them using the church as their warm market. But if they want to adventure out, then, just simple marketing strategies. Facebook is a great place to go and tell people who you are and where you are. A lot of people found me off of Facebook, and I wasn't a Facebooker. My kids had to push me to be a Facebooker. Wow. My friends always, and some of them are on the line, they always said, T, did you see what I told you on Facebook? No, I didn't. Oh, my nickname's T. No, I didn't see what you said because I just didn't want to do it. But it is, Jay, it's really a great place to go and set up your market. So hopefully that helped you a little bit.
Jay, thanks so much for calling in. Call again soon. I think we may have time for one more caller, 757-727-5711. If you have a question for Tawana, I've got another true/false. Realtors are also real estate brokers. True/false?
False.
False. Why is that?
Because a realtor is someone that passed the licensing test yesterday.
Okay.
But a real estate broker, you have to have been a realtor or a salesperson for a certain amount of years before you can even take the class and before you can even be licensed for that. So that's two different ways. A broker is sort of like, in a corporate situation, the manager.
Got it.
And the realtors are the associates.
So 2 levels of licensure.
Two levels of licensure. So we had to, before we started Legacy Property Elites, we had to get licensed to be a broker. Well, there's a couple of different licenses. We had to be licensed. My partner had to be a broker, and then we had to be a brokerage firm. So DPORs, they're the licensing bodies in this country. This state. So that's who we had to go through in order for our office to be licensed as a brokerage firm. So that's two different licenses.
2 different licenses.
Yeah.
Let's see if we might have time for one more
One more
true/false.
question.
One more true/false. How about this? Commercial real estate opportunities are just as easy to access as residential real estate opportunities. True/false?
Well, it depends.
It depends.
It depends. In my opinion, it depends. As far as making a deal, believe it or not, I found much more ease in commercial. As far as access, of course, if the market's good, there's houses. Okay? And I say that for making a deal with real estate because, again, that's not a commonplace. Everybody in the room doesn't want a building. So when someone comes that's serious, you're going to get a deal.
Tawana, it has been a pleasure
Our
having
time is up
you.
already?
It is.
Oh, wow.
Remind us one more time how people can reach you.
www.tawanagolson.com or Tag Consulting LLC on Facebook. And if you're interested in my lips, just follow me on Facebook, and I talk back. Actually, I do.
Yes,
at least once a day.
Please come back and see us soon. When we return from our break, how one man would run the school board like a business if given the opportunity. We'll talk soon. Welcome back to Black Wall Street Today. I am your host, Blair Durham. I am here with the Mr. Seiko Varner, who says if given the opportunity, he would run the school board like a business. Seiko, could you expound on that thought for us?
Well, yes. A lot of times we have people who would complain about the salaries of our educators, our teachers, administrators, people who are low-wage salary earners who work in our school systems. And one of the things that I've been struggling with and thinking about and pondering is how we could change that paradigm to run our school system the way that we run our businesses.
Okay.
So if I want more, I have to earn more. I have to do some different things. And so school systems normally get their tax revenue, their school funding from tax revenue.
Sure.
So we have to start doing some things to increase tax revenue for our cities. And that way we can start increasing the salaries of those who are our educators.
I love it. We've got an important election coming up. Certainly want to encourage our listeners to vote.
Absolutely.
These ideas make sense, Seiko.
Well, they do. And if you look at some of the large cities that have some of the best school systems, they're doing that. They're doing private partnerships with businesses and finding ways to bring resources to their staff, their students, and thus their school system. And I think we can do the same thing here in Virginia.
So if you were on the school board, you would utilize your influence to that end, it sounds like.
Absolutely, absolutely. We have to make sure that our teachers who are overworked, they're underpaid, they're overwhelmed, they need to have greater resources. There should be no reason that teachers have to come out of their pocket at the beginning of the school year so that their school and their classroom have the necessary items to make sure their students have effective learning communities. We need to find ways to partner with businesses to make sure those things happen. And that's what good business does. So why not our school system?
So partnering with businesses to make school systems run more like businesses.
Right. You know, if you own a business, like I've owned businesses, I'm still involved in business. You know, we have screenings and movies, and I still have my disc jockey business.
Okay.
And I made strategic partnerships with suppliers, with providers, you know, with companies to make sure that my business ran better, that my customers received the benefit, and they had excellent customer service and they had an excellent experience. We can do the same thing with our schools.
And you have a vision for what a full implementation of what that would look like.
Absolutely. And I can't wait to start sharing those visions. You know, I think it's important that those of us who studied business and been involved in business now step up into the governance of our city, our state, and our nation.
Seiko, thank you so much for being here and sharing that. Stay with us online at Black Wall Street Today on Facebook and Black Wall Street Today on Instagram. And then follow us on Twitter as well at BWS Today. We look forward to talking again next week. Have a wonderful week.